Hello, creative writers. Welcome to week 2. I'm so excited to have you back. You seem like such a great group. I'm so excited to get to work with you. I feel very lucky. So this week, we're going to start the journals. If you haven't already started, please make sure you get a journal and write at least 5 pages, 5 entries in your journal. Label them by the day that you wrote them. And then in the back of you, that'll be in the front of your journal. In the back, last time we did first sentences. This time we're just doing little story snippets, little ideas for a story. So it could be that, like yesterday, I was out walking with my dog and I walked up to this trail and I passed some cars on the way. They were passing me because I was walking up there. They were driving. And then once I got on the trail, this one guy stopped and pointed at me and he said, "Oh, you're hiking a long way. I remember you. I saw you on the street back there." And I thought it was a little creepy, but then I realized it's only because he recognized my dog. But I could make that into a story that somebody on the trail recognized you from earlier and then you get scared that he's stalking you, something like that. So I could put stalker who saw me on the trail. That's all I'd have to write down. I might have read a news article this week that I thought would be a great way to something from the news article that I could add into a story. I might have seen somebody in town with a bow tie and the rest of his outfit was all hiking gear, and so that's sort of out of place, and I'd wonder what is that guy with the bow tie? What's that all about? What's the story behind that? So hiking gear and bow tie. Or I might have heard somebody telling a joke that I thought would fit well into a story. So any story idea that would lead to character, a plot idea, setting, anything at all, a conflict that that you come up with as you're just going through your daily life. So write 5 ideas down for stories in the back of your journal. Then you have 2 resources. You have story ideas in the back and pages of journal writing in the front. And I want 5 of each, and I want you to come show them to me by Thursday to get the points that are almost about half your grade in this class. Not quite, but almost half of your grade in this class is your journal. Don't wait till the end. It's a big pain to keep up with at the end, and it's easy to just do 5 pages a week and 5 story ideas a week. So make it a real responsibility that you're promising yourself and me that you'll do by Thursday every week to turn in that journal. You just come show it to me. I look at it real quickly. I don't read the journal entries because I want that to be private for you if what you're writing ends up to be private. But I do read the story ideas in the back and we can talk about that. So that's due Thursday. This video obviously is one thing that you need to do. And then the one other thing is last week you should have done the introduction and signed up for Remind. It's very important that you sign up for Remind so I can communicate with you that way. If you're coming back, just send me a message saying, "Hi, Mrs. Dunlap." If you've already done that, hopefully you'll see the grades reflected in Canvas by tonight. I'm getting caught up on my creative writing by tonight. So then this week's assignment is called Where Were You Last Night? And that line is the first line of your story. You can alter it. It can be something similar to that, like "Where was I last night?" That kind of thing. But the main idea is that somebody's asking that question, "Where were you last night?" And then that leads to the story. And I gave you some examples in the part before the prompt itself. So that is the prompt. So read those examples to help you to write yours. And so what I want you to think about now is, where were you last night? And is there any way you could turn that into a story? So to give you an idea what I'm looking for in the response to this video is, where was I last night? I was sitting in my recliner and watching TV and grading papers at the same time with my husband. And it's what we do most every night. So that's not a very exciting thing to put into a story, except we do live in a little cabin in the woods. So I could have us doing the same thing we do every night, kind of reclining chairs, comfortable, watching TV, grading papers, doing our thing. When something happens to change the complacency of our lives, and my husband's a retired Marine, so maybe he could jump into action using his Marine skills to save us from whatever this outside threat is. I'd have to think of the outside threat, whatever the ruckus is going on outside that makes us jump up from our normal lives. And then we also have a very gentle dog named Sarge. Let me see if I can show him to you down here. No, he's not. He went under the table. Here, say hi, Sarge. There's Sarge. We got him from in November, and he's such a big part of our family already. So Sarge is very gentle. He's never aggressive. The only time I've seen him aggressive is when I was out hiking with him and I didn't notice there was a coyote right next to us on the side of the road in the woods and the trees. And Sarge noticed and he lunged and snarled at him. And I felt very protected by Sarge. So I know he has this protective instinct. So what could Sarge do to be part of this story? So where was I last night? Lounging in my recliner, but then this thing happened and made my life more interesting. So I could turn that into a story of our reaction to this outside threat. So where were you last night, and how could you turn it into a story? Just briefly. You don't have to go on as long as I did. Just briefly tell me where you were and how it could be made into a story in the response below. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the prompt that you're writing. I don't want to confuse you. I'm just asking you to think about something and put that in there. I know like Alicia already wrote her response for this one and was very excited about it. So asking her now where she was last night has nothing at all to do with your response. If you want to use it for the response, that's fine, but yours can be totally fictional, as mine was that I made up about a cheerleader, or not a cheerleader, somebody who's not a cheerleader actually, in my example at the beginning. So two separate things. If you want them to be, if you want to use the answer to this question in your future story that you're going to write for week 2, that's fine too. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for logging in, and come see me if you need help, and come see me by Thursday for sure with your journal. Bye-bye.